young little minds, welcome to another session of All Force e-learning program. Right now in this session, this is session number 69. In this session we will take the combination of capacitors, the effective capacity of the combination. When some number of capacitors are added together, then how do you find the resultant capacity? So let us take up the series combination of the capacitors. So our today's topic is series capacitors in series. What happens if I connect capacitors in series connection? Well, before going to that, let's have the recall of necessary things what are required to understand this concept. Right? So I was telling you, charge is a fundamental property. Charge has basic properties like charge is scalar, additive, it is transferable, associated with mass, invariant, quantized and conserved. The process of producing charge, giving charge is electrification. Three methods: charging by induction, conduction and friction. Well, later Coulomb's inverse square law, force attraction between repulsion between two charges, F proportional to Q1 Q2 by R square. Then electric field, the space where the influence of the charge is felt. Then the flux, the number of lines of force passing through a particular space. Then after that, the Gauss law. Gauss law is that total flux emerging from a Gaussian surface is proportional to the charge enclosed inside. Then we have dealt with the electric field due to various charges. Then potential, the electrical state of the charge body is electric potential. It determines the electric state. Well, later after that we studied then potential due to potential difference. Potential is work done per unit charge. Potential difference, work done to move the charge from one point to another point. Then later we studied the electric potential due to point charge, multiple charges, potential due to various charges. Then capacitors, capacitor is a device which is used to store electrical potential in the form of charge. I am storing charge and so as I store the energy. Well, capacity of a capacitor, C, we know capacity is equal to Q by V, charge stored per unit potential. C is equal to Q by V, measured in farads. Later, then capacity of a simple capacitor, the simple spherical conductor, 4 pi epsilon R, C is equal to 4 pi epsilon R. Then we have taken parallel plate condenser, the capacitor, parallel plate capacitor. Capacity is Ka epsilon naught by D. Right? Then we have taken the illustrations. Now let's talk about the capacitors when they are connected in series. First of all, let us understand what is series connection. Series. When you consider any electrical element, you take any electrical element, every element has two terminals, positive, negative. Well, suppose if I denote a battery or a cell is represented like this, then this is positive terminal, this is negative terminal, plus minus. Every element has plus minus. This is the electrical symbol for a cell or battery, right? And suppose if I take two parallel lines, now this is the electrical symbol for a capacitor. A capacitor, both parallel like this. This is the symbol for a capacitor. Well, even this, one of the plate is positive, other one is negative. Either of them, one terminal is plus, other terminal minus. But in this one, the bigger line denotes the positive potential, smaller line denotes the negative potential. Positive potential doesn't mean it is positive charge. It's not positive charge, it is at high potential. Negative terminal doesn't mean it is negative charge, it is at low potential. Potential difference, this is to represent the potential difference between these two terminals. Similarly for capacitor also. If there is an arrow in between like this, now an arrow represents variable element, right? This is a variable capacitor, a capacity whose capacity is changing, can be changed according to your own requirement. Variable capacitor, even here also, this is a variable source whose magnitude will change, differ, can be varied. So this is a variable capacitor. So let us now take about a capacitor of constant capacity. Suppose I am considering three capacitors like this. There are three capacitors this way. Three capacitors are connected in series. In series in the sense, suppose if I take this as plus, this is minus, opposite terminal. Then for the second element, the positive terminal of this is connected to the negative of the first. Similarly, the negative terminal of the second is connected to the positive of the first, so on and so forth. In series connection, that the elements are connected such that the opposite terminals are joined. Right? So the terminals, one plate is connected to the other plate like this of the other device, so on and so forth. Let these capacitors be connected to a source, a battery, with the help of a key. This is a battery, let's suppose a cell whose EMF is E, potential difference it can apply is E. Now this is connected with the help of a key to 3 capacitors. So consider 3 capacitors. Let us consider 3 capacitors C1, C2 and C3. Different capacity. Right? I am representing the capacitors. The symbol, electrical symbol for a capacitor is 2 parallel lines like this. So let us consider 3 capacitors C1, C2, C3 connected in series. Series, alternate terminals are joined to them. One connected to the other there. Right? So that way, when they are connected in series, in general, in our this thing, in series, the people are arranged in a row in a series. Opposite terminals are put together. So in series, the opposite terminals are placed together. Then 3 capacitors C1, C2, C3 are connected in series to a source of EMF E with the help of a key. Right? So the electrical circuit is like this. Now when I switch on the key, when I just switch on the key, so when the key is switched on, then in the battery this is high potential, this is low potential, the positive terminal and the negative terminal. Now this high potential, it is at high potential, high with respect to positive. Then this will charge the capacitors. So when all the capacitors are charged and when stable situation is obtained, when saturation has obtained there, when all the capacitors are identically charged, then the battery gives charge to them. Now in series connection, all the capacitors attain same charge. So the charge, this is positive. So first this capacitor will get a charge Q, this is minus. Similarly this plate will get plus, it is minus. Similarly this also will get plus and this is minus. So all the 3 get equal amount of charge. In series combination, the charge in all the elements will be same. In series, charge remains constant. Charge is same for all. Let the individual potentials be V1, V2 and V3. You see, if I'm considering 3 different capacitors. There are 3 different capacitors of different capacity. Let's say 3 different tanks of different capacity. I am pouring same amount of water into them, same amount of water. Well, if the first one is a bigger tank, for the same amount of water the level is less. But if the second one is a smaller tank, for the same amount of water the level is more. So the amount of water put in them is same, the amount of charge is same, which will give different electric levels V1, V2, V3. So the electric potential, individual electric potentials are V1 plus V2, V1, V2 and V3, such that the total electric potential given in series, the total electric potential is the algebraic sum of the individual electric potentials. Whenever the elements are in series, the resultant electric potential is sum of all the individual. The potential is distributed, the energy supplied to the battery is distributed among them, such that the total energy is the sum of the individual energy, of course per unit charge. So therefore total potential is V1 plus V2 plus V3. Now if I take the definition of capacity for each capacitor, first capacitor C1, we know the capacity is Q by V. So for the first capacitor C1 is equal to Q by V. So let me denote it as C. The capacity is C1, it is Q by V1. Implies V1 I can write as Q by C. Similarly for the second capacitor, it's Q by V2. Implies V2 is equal to Q by C2. The third capacitor, this is second one. The third capacitor C3, it's Q by V3, implies V3 is equal to Q by C3. Well, the charge in series, charge remains constant. In series, charge is always same. right? All the elements will get same amount of charge. The current flowing through the circuit will be same in series. In series, all the elements will have same current. So same charge will flow through them and same charge is stored in the capacitors in series. But the potentials are different because different capacity, the capacitors are different. For the same charge, the level will be different. So let the individual potentials be V1, V2 and V3. Then the total potential will be equal to V1 plus, let us imagine this as the total potential to be V. So then it is V is V1 plus V2 plus V3. So V is V1 plus EMF of the cell EBV. Then V is V1 plus V2 plus V3. Then according to the capacity, the definition of capacity, we know capacity C is equal to Q by V or V is Q by C. Then the capacity C is equal to C1 is Q by V1. For the first capacitor, its capacity is C1, the charge stored is Q, the potential is V1. So C1 is Q by V1, implies V1 is Q by C1. C2, Q by V2, V2 is like this, and CV3. Now we have to find out the resultant capacity. The resultant or the effective capacity. It is also called as the equivalent capacity. What do you mean equivalent capacity or effective capacity or the resultant capacity? It is a single capacitor which has the same capacity as these three when they are placed in series. When these three capacitors are placed in series, what resultant capacity it will produce? A single capacitor whose capacity is equivalent to that of this. That is called equivalent capacitor. Equivalent capacity, resultant capacity or the effective capacitance. Let these three put together is equivalent to a single capacitor. These three put together in series is equivalent to a single capacitor whose capacity is C effective or C resultant. Well, so these three connected in series to this battery or individually this connected to the battery will produce the same effect. If the equivalent capacity of these three is equal to this one, if the resultant capacity is these three equal to this, that means this capacity individually, I separate the single capacitor is equivalent to these three in series. So what effect these three capacitors will produce when they are in series? The same effect it will produce. The same. So when I connect these three individually in series to this one, or connect the effective capacity to this, the circuit is identical, similar, the effect is same. So therefore, if I take this, the charge in it is Q, this is minus Q, same charge is produced and the effect is also same. So this, the single capacitor which would produce the same effect as the individual, as these capacitors when connected in series, the combination. Now this capacitor is called as the effective capacitor, resultant capacity, right? Or the resultant, the effective capacity or equivalent capacity. So this one single capacitor is equivalent to these three in series because that produces the same effect as this. So the equivalent capacity or the effective capacity is one single capacitor like this. So if I take, instead of taking these three in series, if I take single capacitor, the effect produced in this circuit is same. So therefore, by definition, the effective capacitance or the equivalent capacity resultant is the charge Q by total potential V. So from this, the total potential I can write as Q by C effective. But you know, in series connection, V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So substituting these equations in this one, substituting 2 in 1, I get, so the potential V, that is Q by C effective, is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. V1 is Q by C1, this is Q by C2 and this is Q by C3. So therefore 1 by C effective or C resultant is 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C2. So the reciprocal of the resultant capacity. So if the capacitors are connected in series, the reciprocal 1 by the effective resultant capacitance is 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3 dot 1 by C. Or 1 by C resultant is sigma I1 to In it's 1 by Ci. The reciprocal, the inverse of the resultant capacity is equal to the sum of the reciprocals of the individual capacitances. So 1 by Cr is there this, or Cr is equal to 1 by sigma I1 to In 1 by Ci. Sigma resultant capacity in series combination, the effective capacity in series combination Cr, it's 1 by sigma I1 to In 1 by Ci, because 1 by Cr is 1 by C1, 1 by C2, 1 by C3. So Cr is reciprocal of it, getting to denominator. So this is 1 by half 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3 dot 1 by Cn, whatever be the number there. So this way you can find out the resultant capacity when the capacitors are connected in series. So first of all, a capacitor is a device which is used to store energy in the form of charge. Right? So capacity C is Q by V. Now when a single capacitor has a very little amount of capacity to store. If I want to store more charge or more energy, then I take the combination of capacitors. There are two possible combinations. Well, there are many combinations. Simple combinations are series combination and parallel combination. Well, in series combination, the elements are connected in a row with opposite terminals joined together. They are connected in a row, opposite terminals joined together like this. So when opposite terminals are joined together in this manner, plus minus like this, then this is termed as series connection. In series connection, they are in a row. Right? When it is connected to a circuit, to a source, then the source will charge these capacitors. Since they are in series, charge remains constant. Always remember, in series combination, the current flowing through the circuit will be constant. When steady state is obtained, all the capacitors will have same charge. Under steady state conditions, all the capacitors will have same charge. Charge in series, charge is constant. But since they are of different capacity, the potentials are different. So their individual potentials are different, V1, V2, V3, such that the total potential, the total energy supplied by the source is equal to the individual sum of the individual potentials. The total energy per unit charge, potential is work done per unit charge. Well, so the total energy per unit charge, total potential is the algebraic sum of the individual potentials. So V is V1 plus V2 plus V3. So in series, please remember, always in any series connection, whenever the elements are connected in series, the current remains constant. When steady state is obtained, all the elements will have same charge. Then if the elements have individual potentials V1, V2, V3 Vn, then the resultant potential is the algebraic sum. So the resultant potential is the algebraic sum of individual potentials I1 to In Vi in series combination, please. So total potential V is V1 plus V2 plus, the total potential is distributed in series. It is distributed such that the total potential is the algebraic sum. Well, different capacitors will have different potentials because the capacity difference, it is the same amount of charge you are placing in them. The levels will be different. So the total potential is the algebraic sum. Now, talking about the individual capacity C1, let the charge in this charge be Q. The potentials are V1, V2, V3. C1 by definition Q by V1. So V1 is Q by C1. C2 Q by V2. V2 is Q by C2. C3 V3. Now I have to find out the effective capacitance. Now what do you mean effective capacitance? A single capacitor which is equivalent to the combination of these capacitors in series. A single capacitor which will produce the same effect as these capacitors when they are connected in series. So these three capacitors in series, what effect they produce in the circuit with the same source? A single capacitor which will produce the same effect, same result. That is the equivalent or the effective capacity of these three capacitors, equivalent capacity of these three capacitors, or simply the resultant capacity. So these three in series is same as the single capacitance. Well, applying definition, then Cr is Q by V, V is, but you know, energy is distributed. So the total energy will be distributed as V1 plus V2. So in this case, the total energy is given to only this capacitor. So V is V1 plus V2 plus V3. Putting the things, I get 1 by Cr. So in series combination, the reciprocal of the resultant capacity in series combination, the reciprocal of the effective capacity in series combination, the reciprocal of the equivalent capacity in series combination is equal to the sum of, simply the algebraic sum of the reciprocals of the individual capacitances. So 1 by CR is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3 up to 1 by C. Or you can simply write 1 by CR is sigma of 1 by Ci I1 to In, or CR reciprocal of this. So this way we find the resultant capacity of a capacitor when the capacitors are connected in series. In series combination, the resultant capacity is like this. Now in this one, in series, the total potential is the algebraic sum of all the individual potentials. So potential is adding up. The total potential is adding up. Right? So the net potential is the sum of all the individual potentials there. For the same charge, the potential is adding up there. But the charge stored is same in all. Right? The charge stored is same in all. So therefore the effective capacity is like this. Now in series combination, always remember the effective capacitance or the resultant capacity is always, it always decreases. It is always less than the least capacitance whatever that is taken in this one. Right? Out of these capacitors, let one of the capacitors is the smallest, then the resultant is less than that the smallest. So in series combination, the effective capacitance decreases. Resultant capacity decreases. The resultant capacity is less than the least capacitor that is used in this combination. It is less than the least. It is less than the least capacitor that is used in this combination there. Decreases, capacity decreases in series combination. Right? So this way we will take up the capacity. Suppose if in this one, if identical capacitors are connected in series, if n identical capacitors are connected in series, then right, if I take the combination of n identical capacitors in series combination, right, suppose n identical capacitors are connected in series like this, see this way, in series, all identical capacitors are connected in series, then the resultant capacity, well, 1 by CR is equal to, it is given as, it is sigma of 1 by Ci. So therefore 1 by CR is equal to 1 by C plus 1 by C plus 1 by C dot 1 by C. So 1 by CR is equal to resultant capacity, LCM is C, 1 plus 1 plus 1 dot 1. So when 1 is added n times, it's n by C. So 1 by CR is n by C, then the resultant capacity is C by n. Whenever n identical capacitors are connected in series, then the resultant capacity is n times, it is C, capacity of each capacitor by n there. So the capacity decreases n times. Each capacitor is C, the effective capacitance is C by n. So therefore the effective resultant capacity is C each by n. The capacity decreases n times. Right? Capacity is less. Suppose if 2 identical capacitors are connected, C by 2, 3 capacitors, C by 3, right? N capacitors, the resultant capacity is C by n. It decreases n times. So in series combination, the capacity is reduced. If I use 2 capacitors of 100 microfarads in series, the effective is only 50. So if you want to have a lesser value, then combine the capacitors in series. To have a effective resistance less than the individual, then connect the capacitors in series. In series combination, the capacity decreases, reduces. When n identical capacitors connected in series, then the resultant capacity is C by n. It decreases n times. It is reduced n times. Okay, right? So this way we will find the capacity in series combination. Right? Now suppose if I take, let's consider, suppose there are 2 capacitors connected in series like this. This is C1 and C2 in series to a battery of, let the potential be V. When 2 capacitors are connected in series, right, to a cell, to a battery of potential V, then the energy supplied by the battery will be shared. The potentials are V1 and V2. In series, potentials are different, but the charge stored in them is same, Q each. Well, this is plus minus, this is plus minus. Now in series, all the capacitors will have same charge. In series, the charge stored in them is same, is constant. Charge is same in all. Same charge will be stored. So what is the ratio of the charge that is stored? So answer is 1:1. The charge stored will be always same. There is equal charge stored in them. Now how about the potentials? Now first for C1 is Q by V1. Well, the second implies V1 is Q by C1. Second capacitor C2 is Q by V2. Then V2 is Q by C2. Then if I take the ratio, so the ratio of the potential stored in them V1 by V2, it's 1 by C1 by 1 by C2, it's C2 by C1. So the ratio of the potential is the inverse ratio of their capacity. So C1 V1 is equal to C2 V2. So whenever two capacitors connected in series, then the total charge stored in them is same. C1 V1 is C2 V2. C1 by C2 is V2 by V1, or V1 by V2 is C2 by C1 like this. So the capacity, the potential shared by them is inverse. Then what is the effective capacity? Well, we know 1 by CR is 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. So 1 by CR is C1 C2 LCM C1 plus C2, or you can write down the resultant capacity is C1 C2 by C1 plus C2. The effective capacity when the capacitors are connected in series, right? So the resultant capacity is C1 into C2, product of the capacitors by C1 plus C2, the sum of the capacitors. So whenever they are in two capacitors in series, then the resultant is the product by their sum. Product of the individual values by the sum of their values there. So this way you find the capacity, potential and the charge there. Right? Thank you.